Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
From Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds close out the three-game series. The Brewers trying to get one before moving on to Chicago as the road trip continues. And if the Brewers are going to get one, we figure one of the veterans could be involved in helping the Brewers do just that. Good afternoon from Cincinnati. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Matt LePage. Craig Kashawn, our reporter. One of those veterans I'm talking about, Rock, is Aramis Ramirez. He's homered a couple of times here against the Reds, once here, and including last night, showing some good signs that he's ready to get into a groove.
Yeah, he's been swinging the bat pretty well. I mean, he's hit six out of 7, and Ramirez certainly has been doing the job defensively as well. Ramirez, a guy that has really been off to slow starts throughout his career, been showing signs of snapping out of it. A couple of home runs, 5 RBIs in that stretch where he's hitting 6 out of 7, and on the defensive side, he's been very good as well. So Ramirez starting to put things together. Ron Renicky needs to have his big bats, his big guns in the lineup start to produce, and all of a sudden, they're starting to do a much better job of that.
And you see what Rami has done here over the last week as compared to the first couple of weeks of the season. Looking to keep up that recent trend here this afternoon. Matt Garza, Michael Lorenz in your matchup. We are ready for baseball in Cincinnati. It's coming up. The Brewers and Reds from Great American Ballpark on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Afternoon baseball, Cincinnati, Ohio, Great American Ballpark. Brewers and Reds getting ready to close out this three-game series. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. It is a gorgeous day for baseball. 72, not a whole lot of breeze, bright sunshine here in Southwest Ohio as we get ready for the Brewers and Reds to wrap things up here in Cincinnati. The Brewers will have an off day tomorrow and then open a weekend series, all-day games Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Let's take a look at the Brewers batting order presented by Potawatomi. Gene Segura, Logan Schaefer, Ryan Braun at the top. Adam Lind, he of the 7-game hitting streak, hitting in the cleanup spot, followed by Aramis Ramirez and Chris Davis. Martin Maldonado, Hector Gomez, and Matt Garza rounding out the Brewers batting order against a young man making his big league debut, Michael Lorenzen, 23 years old.
Yeah, one of the top prospects in the Reds organization. He was drafted only 2 years ago. In 2013, resides in Anaheim, California. Had a great spring for the Reds, 3-0, a 180 earned run average in 2 starts, 8 games down in Arizona, and was one of the final cuts in spring training before the Reds came to start the regular season.
Hey, you're right. This Reds organization very high on Lorenzen. Thin, 6'3", tips the scales at just a shade more than 200 pounds. But the Cal State Fullerton now makes his major league debut, and his first pitch is a strike to Gene Segura, and we're underway in Cincinnati. They say Lorenzen can bring the heat. He can get you mid to upper 90s. In fact, they say at times can touch 100. It's his first big league start, and he is quickly ahead 0-2 to Gene Segura.
Well, they say he's a strike thrower. He was down in the minor leagues this year. AAA in 3 starts, a 2-1 record, earned run average just a touch over 2.8. They say he has a lot of poise for a young kid.
Cal State Fullerton played a lot of outfield because he could hit. 7 home runs his junior year and hit .335. But his ticket to the show is on the mound. 2-strike pitch to Segura.
Yeah, an outfielder and closer in college, and the Reds drafted him, making a starter out of him. Basically a 3-pitch pitcher with that big fastball, slider, and a changeup.
Just getting started here in Cincinnati. Brewers trying to grab one of the 3 before moving on. Last night they ran into a pretty tough combo to try to knock off Johnny Cueto, who needed just 85 pitches to go through 8 innings, and then Aroldis Chapman finished things off in a 4-2 Reds win. Brewers getting their runs via the solo homer last night, Aramis Ramirez and Ryan Braun. Other than that, the only other hit came from Adam Lind, a 7th inning single.
Now the Brewers once again in yesterday's game had to play from behind. They were down 4-0. They have to avoid that today.
Segura tries to check his swing and is successful doing so. 2-2 the count. Yeah, that was the case on Monday where the Brewers fell behind. The Reds scored 4 in the second and 3 more in the third. Brewers were looking up at a 7-1 deficit through 3 innings. In fact, we're down 7 in the 9th inning, but the Brewers scored 4 times and had the tying run at the plate before falling short. There's a ground ball to second. Brandon Phillips takes care of it, out number 1.
Well, a couple of changes defensively as we take a look at the Reds. Menard's defense. You got Christopher Negron giving a start today in the day game. Joey Votto sits this one out, but you figure you're going to see him late in the game. And Tucker Barnhart making his first start against Milwaukee. This is the 7th game between the Reds and Brewers already this year.
All a part of this Central Division swing that the Brewers are going through. And that stretch will end with the series in Chicago, and then the LA Dodgers come to town starting next Monday. And then they'll have another weekend series with the Cubs, and then it's the Chicago White Sox. There's Logan Schaefer. Schaefer was hitless last night, but he had 2 hits in each of his previous 2 games. Continues to play very good defense. Getting the start in center field for the 7th time here in this young season.
Yeah, Ron Renneke feeling as though Gerardo Parra needs a day off, so you throw Schaefer in center. You put Chris Davis back in the lineup with Ryan Braun back in right.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Schaefer. Again, you're seeing low to mid 90s fastballs from Michael Lorenzen.
Pretty smooth, effortless delivery for the tall right-hander.
3-1 pitch. This is a Reds club that feels good about the pitchers in the system. Everybody getting the first look at Lorenzen here today, as Brian Price knows that there is some help on the way, or at least he hopes there is help on the way. And Schaefer pops it up, shallow right center field. That'll be Billy Hamilton, 2 away. And here's Ryan Braun with 2 outs and the base is empty. A Powerball home run count. And Braun last night went opposite field against Johnny Cueto, his second home run of the year. Braun, both of his home runs coming against the Reds last week at Miller Park and last night against Cueto.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes that Cueto made in his start last night. Well, he was tough.
Braun had a pinch hitting role on Monday night. Struck out against Aroldis Chapman to win the game. 1 for 4 last night. So now Braun will get his first regular season look at Michael Lorenzen. Say a very calm demeanor. Hard to rattle. We'll see how he fares here today. The Brewers would like to rattle him around a little bit, get the bats going. There have been some signs that the power is starting to return for this Milwaukee club.
It'd be nice to jump on him early, put pressure on him. You know, first major league start, you figure there's some butterflies going on with Lorenzen here today. And so far, he's been able to retire the first 2.
1-2 is away. Reds enter the game 10-10. Brewers in search of their 5th win of the year. Reds started this series having lost 3 straight, but they've taken the first 2, and they've taken 5 of the first 6 in the head-to-head matchups against Milwaukee. Full count now to Braun.
Man, the Reds are a team that have struggled offensively, but really haven't shown any signs of that in this series. They've scored a lot of runs against Milwaukee.
They continue to have a lot of power along the way. Here's the payoff to Ryan Braun. They'll hit the right field, and it's right to Jay Bruce. And a 1-2-3 start for Lorenzen. Time for Matt Garza to go to work here in Cincinnati. Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com. The official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code CREW for free entry. Brewers go down in order in the top of the first, and now the Reds getting their First crack at Matt Garza. Brian Price has seen his team split its first 20 games. Here's the Reds batting order presented by Potawatomi. Billy Hamilton, Zach Cozart, Todd Frazier at the top. In the middle, Jay Bruce, Brandon Phillips, and Marlon Byrd. Christopher Negron gets the start in place of Joey Votto. Tucker Barnhart behind the plate. Michael Lorenzen on the mound against Matt Garza. Face Billy Hamilton. Hamilton was hitless last night, and that snapped what was an 8-game hitting streak for the Red center fielder.
Hey, you see the numbers for Garza was pretty good in his last start in a loss against the Cardinals. 3 earned runs in 6 innings, a quality start. And the Brewers haven't scored too many runs for him in his three losses.
It's a ground ball to Segura, and he was out number 1. As a matter of fact, they didn't score at all. They were shut out in Garza's last start.
Check out the Brewers defense. Brought to you by Menards today. Davis, Schaefer, and Braun in the outfield. Ramirez, Segura, Hector Gomez at second. Adam Lind at first, and Martin Maldonado back behind home plate. He's caught all but 1 game since Jonathan Lucroy went on the disabled list.
To look at Martin. Lucroy on the trip, but still a ways away from coming back. Zach Cozart settles in. Hit a hit last night. Off to a very good start in this first month. Sharply hit to Segura. Another chance for the shortstop. 2 up, 2 down.
And Garza's 3 losses this year. The Brewers have a combined 4 runs on the board.
A 5-2 setback to Colorado. Another 5-2 loss to the Pirates and 3-0 last week to St. Louis. The one win was against the Cardinals, and that was a game where he was grinding through it. Walked 5 and 5 2/3. A little shaky defense behind him at times, but the Brewers were able to beat Adam Wainwright. The Cardinals 5-4. That was in the home opener for St. Louis. Todd Frazier with 2 men out.
Such a different look to this Reds lineup without Votto in there, isn't it?
Really is.
One of the most dangerous hitters in the league right now at this point in the season. He's on the bench today.
And he's actually cooled off a bit, although again that's hard for the Brewers and Brewer fans to really get a handle on. They're giving their first baseman the day off and have Christopher Negron over there. Votto last night went into the game on a little 0 for 15 slide and snapped out of that with a home run in the first inning. So singled in the 5th.
And even when he's not hitting and he's in the lineup, he's a threat because you never know when he's going to snap out of it.
He and Adrian Gonzalez tied atop the home run leader category leaderboard, each with 7. Frazier hits a fly ball to left field. Back goes Chris Davis at the wall, reaching up, can't get it, it's gone. Todd Frazier solo blast, and the Reds take the early lead.
Yep, a classic Great American Ballpark home run. You know, you figure the ball's going to carry pretty well in the day game here. And Frazier able to knock one out of here in the first throw out there in left center. Got under it, just kept going. Well, the Reds take advantage of, the Brewers need to start taking advantage of this short porch here in this ballpark. Just kept going and into the first row.
There's Frazier's 5th homer of the year and 2nd against the Brewers. Here's Jay Bruce. Yeah, you're right. That was well hit, but at first I didn't think that was going to leave the yard. But fly balls could carry here in this ballpark,
and especially in day games. I mean, nice and warm down there today. You figure you're going to get some carry on anything hit up into the air. So the Brewers need to take advantage of it, just like the Reds have in this series.
The 0-1 to Bruce. Brewers hit a couple out of the park last night, both solo shots, Ramirez and Braun. Ramos had a pretty good last week at the plate. Made a good defensive play yesterday. They're handing a bunt down the line. from Billy Hamilton. Starting to see a little bit more of that Aramis Ramirez that fans are used to. And Rock, as you said, after a slow start, which has been the case in Rami's career more often than not, but now as April is getting ready to turn to May, things are starting to flip for him a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah, getting better swings. Ramirez has played errorless baseball at third base in 18 starts, now 19 today.
And this is a Brewer defense that otherwise has been at best choppy in spots. But Ramirez has been clean so far. Garza ready with the 2-2. Matt spun a beauty here last July 5th. Complete game 2-hit shutout. Struck out 9 in that game. Pitchers duel. 1-0 Brewers win here in Cincinnati. Had a no decision at Miller Park about 3 weeks earlier. Went 7 innings and gave up just 1 run. Bruce is on. 2-out walk.
You don't see too many 1-0 games in this ballpark. Now, that was a dandy. I remember that one. That was a day game here in Cincinnati. And it didn't take long to get the win. That was a quick game.
Here's Brandon Phillips. The home run that you see occurred last night. Reds went back-to-back off Kyle Loesch in the 4th inning. Phillips a 2-run shot. Marlon Byrd followed. Jay Bruce, the runner at first. The Reds with a run across here in the bottom half of inning number 1.
Yeah, that last start for Garza against St. Louis, he had a good slider. I mean, one of the best sliders he's had. He had good velocity on his fastball. He was able to work inside. But the breaking ball was very good in that last start.
Hoping to string together some starts where he has that going for him here. Frazier's on the move as Phillips to chopper to third. Ramirez on the charge. Tough play and not in time. And Frazier comes around to third. Bruce rather comes around to third.
Yeah, Ramirez just couldn't get the baseball out of his glove, and after he had a little bit of a bobble, Brandon Phillips able to get into first safely, so the inning continues on the infield single. Right there, that double clutch, and that's all it took for Brandon Phillips to be able to beat it at first base.
So the Reds doing some damage here after the first 2 were retired. Hamilton and Cozart with ground balls to short. Frazier a homer, Bruce a walk, and Phillips an infield hit. Bruce going. He's able to come all the way around to third.
Yeah, Reds had a 3-run inning last night after 2 outs, nobody on. 2 strikes on the third batter, and they ended up scoring 3 runs.
That's when the back-to-back homers occurred. Marlon Byrd. His 2 home runs have come against Milwaukee, one last week and the other last night. Byrd in his first year with the Reds, well-traveled veteran. He's now down 0-2.
Good slider back-to-back. Breaking pitch down and away to Byrd. He tried to pull him.
Garza's final win a year ago came at Miller Park against the Reds. 6 innings. Gave up just 4 hits and a run. It was on September 14th. Two strikes and nothing to Marlon Byrd. So the Brewers continuing the road trip this weekend in Chicago. From here, the Reds will head out on a 3-city 10-game swing starting tomorrow in Atlanta. First of 4 against the Braves. That's on to Pittsburgh and the White Sox.
That's already their second 10-day road trip. That's a good way to start the year, right?
Boy, just Little, probably not what Brian Price would draw up if he was making out the schedule. And that is a strike, and Marlon Byrd down on strikes. We'll wrap up the first inning, but the Reds get the game's first run, 1-0 Cincinnati.
Of the second inning, and they're opposing Michael Lorenzen, who's making his major league debut on the mound here today. The Brewers saw him once during spring training, but Ron Renicky said he wasn't throwing all his best stuff then, so today is a big first test for them. As Matt mentioned earlier, grew up outside of Anaheim, California, the youngest of four brothers. All his brothers played college baseball, but he's the only one who's made it all the way to the majors. And being a California guy, he said growing up, his idol, Ryan Braun. So I guess, Ryan, you've got a guy now in the majors that was growing up as a kid, so welcome to the old man's club, right, guys?
Yeah, exactly right. Adam Lind leading off the second inning here for the Brewers. Well, Lorenzen just blew through the minor league system.
Year and a half, right? Got drafted June in 2013, and
Adam Lind with a line drive hit back into center field. Back goes Billy Hamilton, and it is gone. Home run, Adam Lind, number 4 on the year.
Yeah, he stays hot. Boy, Adam Lind, what a nice swing he's been putting on the baseball so far this year. And getting the Brewers back to even. Boy, they needed that. They fell behind yesterday in the first inning on a home run. Same today, but Lind able to get it back. That's that fastball. Looked like a two-seamer, had some tail to it, and Lind stayed right on it. Boy, he's been really good into center field. Doesn't try and pull it.
Just like that, he extends his hitting streak to 8. There's another line drive, but the park will hold this. Is tracking it is Billy Hamilton, 4 out, number 1. So we've seen matching solo homers early on this afternoon.
Lind has an 8-game winning hitting streak, so he's been swinging it well.
.12 for his last 27, as a matter of fact. Chris Davis had the night off last night, complete night off for the first time here in 2015. See what he did on Monday night, 0 for 3. Been scuffling a little bit at the plate. I don't think Ron Renicky has been overly concerned. Has thought he's had some pretty good at-bats, but still looking for home run number 1. Got off to a good start in terms of the batting average, but that has tailed off in the last couple of weeks.
He's gone away from what got him that big batting average in the first week or so, week and a half, and taking the baseball to right field. I think the home run thing has gotten into his head a bit and starting to pull off the baseball a little bit more pull conscious than he was earlier in the season.
2 balls, 2 strikes to the Brewers left fielder. Todd Frazier, a solo homer for the Reds. Adam Lind matches it for the Crew here in the 2nd inning. Two balls, 2 strikes. That home run for Lind, by the way, gives him 150 in his career. Yeah. 150.
There's a milestone, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, he's provided the Brewers exactly what they've needed, that consistency at first base and a big bat over there to provide some runs. Something that they lacked a year ago.
Yeah, the offense was what they were counting on. The defense, I think, better than advertised.
And he's been able to stay healthy. The back hasn't given him any issues.
Lorenzen with the 3-2.
One of those back issues for Lind was in large part because of that AstroTurf, that artificial surface in Toronto. Don't have to worry about that in the National League.
No worries at all. Lind with his 4th homer of the year here in this frame.
Not the first guy to experience back and leg issues playing on that artificial surface.
We used to see all over the big leagues, including here in Cincinnati at the old Riverfront Stadium. Here's pitch number 10 in this at bat. Lorenzen versus Chris Davis. Fly ball back into center. Billy Hamilton on the run, and that is gone. Solo shot, Chris Davis, his first of 2015.
No, that was a nice at bat. 11 pitch at bat for Chris Davis, and finally got a pitch out over the plate, knocked it out of here to center field. Actually a 10 pitch at bat, not 11, and a big fly into center. Oh, that's got to feel good for Ron Renneke. Brewers able to take a lead here in the 2nd. And that tailing fastball ended up right down the middle of the plate. Davis didn't try and pull it and knocked it out of here way back in center field.
So Michael Lorenzen in his big league debut tired the Brewers in order in the 1st, but Brewers have tagged him with a couple of long balls here in the 2nd. Lind and now Davis.
And that's what you have to do. Put the pressure on the young guy. I mean, he hasn't been in the pro ball all that long. He's got good abilities, but there's butterflies that he's having to deal with out there. First major league start. Get a lead on him and keep the pressure on him.
Maldonado, a little chopper to Todd Frazier. 2 outs here in the 2nd.
Hey, Friday, May 29th is country night at Miller Park. The Brewers square off against the Diamondbacks. Then after the game, Grammy-nominated country artist Joe Nichols takes the stage to perform a free full-length concert. To reserve your spot at country night, visit brewers.com/concerts. I'm going to stick around for that.
You're a country fan, aren't you?
Absolutely. Who isn't?
Not many. I can listen to it. I'm good. Am I a well-versed country fan? No, but I do like country music.
But you can listen to it.
I can listen to it as opposed to my wife, who a little different opinion there, but no, I enjoy it. I just don't want to come across as a knowledgeable country music fan. If I'm not an aficionado. Can't say it either. But it's all right.
You don't have to be. You just have to like it. Joe Nichols. Big star.
Sir. Hector Gomez. Line drive and a base hit. Hector Gomez getting the start again at 2nd this afternoon. 2-out single here for the Brewers.
Well, Hector Gomez, very aggressive hitter. He looked like a cut fastball, something that once again stayed down the middle of the plate, and Gomez hits it hard into left. So the Brewers taking advantage of the mistakes that Lorenzen's making.
2-1 lead for the Crew as Matt Garza settles in. Not getting some run support, at least in this second inning. Has pitched well and has had nothing to show for it in at least a couple of his outings early on. One win at St. Louis back on the 13th.
I haven't seen really anything close to upper 90s yet from Lorenzen, and mostly it's 93, maybe a 94 from time to time, but velocity a bit down for him. There's a 95.
I always wonder, especially in a big league debut, it might take you a few innings, if not a couple of outings, to really feel like you can let it rip.
Yeah, you relax. That's when your velocity starts to crank up a little bit. You're tense, a little bit nervous. You're not going to get your best pitches. It's going from 95 to 83. The 83, the slider.
Two balls, two strikes. Garza battling him.
46 pitches already.
We are just in inning number 2. Johnny Cueto needed 85 pitches to get through 8 innings. And that is strike 3 called. Inning over. But the Brewers put a couple of runs on the board. Good counterpunch to what the Reds did in the first. Here's Adam Lind, number 4 on the year. That's how this second inning started. And then 2 batters later, it was Chris Davis going downtown. Through an inning and a half. It's 2-1, Brew Crew. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Chris Davis, a solo homer at the top of the second. Adam Lind likewise giving the Brewers this 2-1 lead. Hey, tonight Fox Sports Live gets caught up on a full night of NHL and NBA playoff action, plus highlights on tonight's MLB games. You can see Fox Sports Live tonight on Fox Sports 1, or see it simulcast right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Christopher Negron gets the starting assignment at first today for Cincinnati. Joey Votto out of the lineup. Negron last year appeared in 49 games for the Reds and actually put up some decent numbers in the time he was out there. Homered 6 times, hit .271. Today gets the call at first base. That Garza in the first inning allowed a solo homer to Todd Frazier. Also a walk and an infield hit before he was able to strike out Marlon Byrd to end the inning. The ground ball to Ramirez. Little spin move. First out of the inning.
Tough play.
It was.
Well, kind of scooted on that grass, and Ramirez actually caught it behind him. Able to hold on and get the out. Airless baseball for Ramirez so far this year. Right there. Kind of has to stab at it, spins around, and a good throw to first.
Airless baseball for a team that is committed 19. The Nationals have been guilty of more errors at 23. Reds middle of the pack after being the best defensive team a year ago. Tucker Barnhart. It's the call behind the plate today. Brian Pena out of the lineup. This is lifted into left center field, and that's Logan Schaefer. 2 men out. Back out there, made a terrific play on Monday night, taking away extra bases on a long fly from Brandon Phillips. Race back to the wall. I talked about the need to take the banana route, looping, so we can keep a better eye on where he was in relation to the wall. I was talking to Craig Kashawn about that yesterday and was able to make a very tough play not look so tough.
Yeah, some of the things that go on out there on the field that fans don't even realize, right? Some of the subtleties of some of these positions that these players take for granted. They work very hard throughout their careers. It's second nature to them.
The nuances of the game.
Yeah,
it's really interesting to hear these guys talk about that, and specifically Logan Schaefer describing how he played that fly ball. Pretty confident it wasn't going to leave the park. It was close. He didn't take away a home run, but he took away at least a double. Michael Lorenzen with his first big league at bat. We'll remind you, if you're just checking in, we talked about it at the beginning of the game. He was a very good hitter in college. Cal State Fullerton. Played a lot of outfield as well as pitched a lot in relief. As a matter of fact, holds the career saves record at Cal State Fullerton. His junior year, he hit better than 300. And went deep 7 times.
And it wasn't that long ago when he was in college. What, 2 years ago, right?
Exactly.
Not even.
You can see even in the minor leagues, it's that old line, a good average for a pitcher, but he can take the ball out of the ballpark, drive in a few runs. But now in the big leagues, first at bat, a 2-2 count. Full count to Lorenzen. Don't want to mess around here. Lineup ready to turn over. You have 2 outs. The base is empty. The payoff. And there's a base hit to right.
Didn't me. First at bat, base hit. We just got done saying he can hit. Not that easy.
No, it can't be.
It's not that easy. They're pretty good at bat for a pitcher. Took a couple of close pitches and then able to bang one into right field. Let's have a couple of pretty good hitting pitchers in their starting rotation. Jason Marquis, the other.
Michael Lorenzen. First major league at bat. Singles. Back to the top of the order, Billy Hamilton. Ground ball to Segura to lead off the bottom of the first. Hamilton, the National League leader in stolen bases with 13, caught just 1 time. That was last Thursday. Maldonado got him at Miller Park. It's hit in the air, left field, and Chris Davis will squeeze it, and that is out number 3. No runs, a hit from the pitcher. 1 left after 2, 2-1, the Brewers.
Right, Logan Schaefer in center field. Now watch the route that he takes. There's where he starts. Takes his eye off the baseball. There's the banana route we're talking about. Not going straight back. This way, with that route, as he angles toward the wall, he's able to see the baseball, and in his peripheral vision, able to see the wall, and he makes a perfectly timed leap to make the catch. Well done.
Playing some good outfield per usual. He was hitless last night, but had a couple of hits in each of his last 2 games. More on that catch, and Craig, Sean, you had a chance to catch up with Logan about that play.
Yeah, a couple of the things that he was talking about that these guys do that you guys mentioned, no one knows what goes on when they prepare defensively, but he says he takes great pride in things like, before each series, especially on the road, you got to test the give of the wall out there in center and left center and right center from where he's going to man his positions. And he said all the way down to how long the blades of grass are out there, how each stadium maintains their lawn as well. So a lot of little things go on, the routes and stuff they work on in spring training, but it all plays into a big catch like that.
Well, that's pretty cool the way they trace that route like that.
That's the banana route.
Yeah.
Illustrated.
I'll tell you, technology these days, right?
It's remarkable. Gene Segura. Ground ball to Brandon Phillips to begin the game. A couple of solo shots for the Crew in the second inning. Adam Lind and Chris Davis. Number 4 for Lind, number 1 for Davis this year. About Lorenzen making his big league debut. His brother, who's 10 years older, he was actually drafted several years ago by the Dodgers. The arm broke down. His career had to come to an end because of Tommy John surgery. Baseball in the family. There's a roller, good back or bare hand play by Brandon Phillips. And the Gold Glover makes the play for the first out of the inning.
And you really don't see that being an issue with Michael Lorenzen because he hasn't pitched all that much. I mean, as far as wear and tear on the arm, he was an outfielder, he was a closer, so he didn't have the inning totals to wear out that arm as a young player. And Brandon Phillips makes a tough play look pretty easy.
4-time Gold Glovers do. Here's Schaefer. Healthy cut. Today's game, one of 5 to be played this afternoon. Full schedule in the big leagues.
Yeah, that Orioles game is going to be interesting.
Yeah, that will be played in front of no one.
Gates are locked.
Yeah, the situation in Baltimore. They postponed the first 2 games, playing today, but there will be no crowd, no fans in the stands. It's something that, for various reasons, has had to happen in soccer internationally, but in Major League Baseball, not quite so much. It'll be a very odd scene.
Yeah.
You'll probably see the video from it. Put into baseball reference, there's been no big league game since 1914. It's been in an empty stadium, although there was some information, a game back in 1930 between the Giants and the Reds, the New York Giants and the Reds. There were 10 folks there to witness it.
Mm-hmm.
And then back in the late 1800s, John Thorne, the official historian of baseball, there were actually 6 folks in attendance for a game back in 1882. So you have to dig a little bit to find anything that resembles what's going to be going on today in Baltimore.
A sad situation, when baseball is trying its best to get the schedule and get those games played, but for safety reasons, locking the gates.
Schaefer goes down swinging. Out number 2 here in the 3rd inning.
Pretty good breaking pitch there from Lorenzen. You figure as this game goes on, he's going to relax a little bit more. We're going to see the real Michael Lorenzen. Early on, you figure a little bit nervous. Actually, that was a fastball, not a breaking pitch.
First 2 Brewers retired here in the 3rd. Lorenzen with a couple of strikeouts, and as Craig mentioned, a player Lorenzen really looked up to. California guys, Lorenzen versus Braun.
Now he gets to face him, right?
Yeah. Got him a line to right this first trip. It's the 0-1. Ryan with a homer last night. He has 2, and those have been his extra base hits. The stage of the season. Back up the middle and through a base hit for Braun.
Yeah, some big time hop spin on that ground ball. Second hop just scooted through the infield out of the reach of Cozart and into center. See if the Brewers can put together a 2-out rally themselves. The Reds have done it a couple of times in this series. And on that second hop, watch the way that second hop stays down and into center field.
It's hit number 4 for the Brewers. Here's Adam Lind, the first hit of the day for Milwaukee, and that was a solo homer. Brewers really have not gotten the running game going at all. Had trouble getting guys on base, obviously, been a big factor, but they haven't run much.
Yeah, well, playing from behind, you're not going to run too much either. You try not to make outs on the bases when you're down, 3, 4, 5 runs.
Adam Lind now with an 8-game hitting streak. 12 for 27 in that span. Right in front.
They're starting to mix in the changeup a little bit.
Considered one of their top prospects, Michael Lorenzen. First big league appearance this afternoon. A swing and a miss from Lind. That will end the inning. The strikeouts for Lorenzen here in the 3rd. We are through 2.5. 2-1 Milwaukee.
Brewers up 2-1, and mark your calendars for the Brewers' third all-fan giveaway this year. It's Sunday, May 10th, as the Brewers take on the Cubs, and all fans in attendance get a special Mother's Day bobble hank, courtesy of Pick and Save. Visit Brewers.com to reserve your spot today.
Bobble hank. Ready to roll, bottom of the third. Zach Cozart will lead off.
Talking about good hitting pitchers for Cincinnati. Forgot about probably the best hitting pitcher in baseball, Mike Leake.
Mike Leake, yes.
69 hits in the last 5 years.
He was originally the scheduled starter for this game. Switched out. They wanted to keep Lorenzen on schedule. His last start at AAA. Leake will be moved ahead to tomorrow when the Reds open a series in Atlanta.
Yeah, Leake hit .356 in 2010. Has 12 career multi-hit games, so yeah, he can hit.
That's hit. Cozart slaps a ground ball to Ramirez. 1 out. It was interesting, the whole topic of pitchers and those who can hit and those who can't, because the Adam Wainwright injury, when he had the Achilles injury in Milwaukee that's going to cost him the season, that sparked the conversation, as probably any injury to a standout pitcher would do, about how maybe the National League should just go ahead and have the DH just like the American League does. Wainwright is thumbs down on that topic. Just for those who's a fly ball off the bat of Todd Frazier, and Chris Davis will take care of it. Oh, Rock, I get it. I mean, some of you are trying to protect big investments. You're paying money to watch pitchers work. But I guess I'm a little more old school just as a fan. I like to see the strategy, and you have some pitchers who can hit.
It's more difficult for a manager to get through a game. I mean, you take pitchers out that are throwing well to get offense, and I don't think there's ever going to be baseball without the designated hitter. I don't think that the Players Association will allow the American League to do away with it. On the flip side, I don't think the National League is going to go to it.
Status quo, you think?
But there's more chance the National League going to it than the American League eliminating it.
Oh, the whole talk of scoring, and where fans wanting to see more of it. Doesn't matter if it's baseball or whatever the sport. People like offense. Jay Bruce with a bouncer. That's Hector Gomez. That is a throw a little wide, but Lynn able to hold the bag, and a nice 1-2-3 inning for Matt Garza. We are 3-3 in Cincinnati, with the Brewers beating the Reds 2-1. with the Brewers. A couple of solo homers. They have the lead 2-1 against the Reds. Series finale. These two teams. Here's our Carsoup.com trivia question. Which pitcher holds the Brewers franchise record for wins in a rookie season? Which pitcher holds the Brewers franchise record for wins in his rookie year? Michael Lorenzen making his first big league appearance today. Ramirez, Davis, and Maldonado. Ball in there for strike one. Ramirez last night, a home run. That is his 17th in his career in this yard, which ranks him third among opponents going deep at Great American Ballpark. Lance Berkman and Albert Pujols ahead of him.
He's played a lot of games in this ballpark. Remember the Pirates, the Cubs?
He is also, as we've talked about it with him, and this is final year, the numbers that he's putting together, his career statistics. 367 home runs as a third baseman, and there's a drive to left field, and that's going to be extra bases. Run down by Marlon Byrd, and Aramis Ramirez posting in a second, a stand-up double.
Man, stay hot. You were talking about it when we came on the air. The importance of Braun and Ramirez to start swinging the bat and driving in some runs. That wasn't a bad pitch. It was a two-strike pitch, for that matter. Ramirez goes down and hooks it down the line in left for a leadoff double.
Good start here to the fourth for the Brewers. Finishing the thought on Ramirez, that home run last night, number 367 as a third baseman. 36th best all time, and he is just one behind Greg Nettles. Some pretty good company there. The likes of Mike Schmidt, Eddie Matthews, Chipper Jones, Adrian Beltre. Good company.
Yeah, he's had a terrific career, no doubt.
Trying to end on a high note and showing some positive signs here in the last week. He is ready to get into the rhythm of the season. .71 pitches here for Lorenzen. Just entering the fourth inning. Davis hit his first of the year 2 innings ago. Just foul at third. It's our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Speaking of Davis's first at bat, launched one center field. First of what the Brewers hope will be many for Chris Davis here in 2015.
It was a good battle. A 10-pitch at bat that ended up with a home run for Davis into dead center field.
Davis able to check his swing. It's Todd Tishner, the first base umpire. Three balls, one strike. Bounces up there, and the Brewers here to begin the second inning of runners at first and second. Leadoff double from Ramirez and a walk for Davis.
You mentioned that Lorenzen didn't walk too many down in the minor leagues in 3 starts, 4 walks. Just about as many hits as innings pitched. A couple of home runs allowed, which is why he's here.
Homer Bailey, they have moved him to the 60-day DL. It sounds like that could be a very significant injury, obviously. So move him from the 15 to the 60. And Manny Parra, the former Brewer, on the 15-day because of a strained neck.
Yeah, I hadn't seen Parra, in the series. So the Reds starting to get nicked up a little bit.
Something the Brewers can relate to with the position players, obviously. As Maldonado with a pop up, they'll carry into the seats. Encouraging signs. Looks like Gomez, we may see Carlos Gomez this weekend.
Yeah, Scooter's on track to come back on time, and unfortunately Lucroy is going to be a while.
A broken toe on a foul tip last week. Game against the Reds.
Yeah, walking around in a boot here in Cincinnati.
1-1 to Maldonado. Get a ground ball to third his first trip. Brewers showing patience. Davis already has drawn a walk. 2-1 count to Maldonado. See how long Price stays with his young starter. Two balls, two strikes. Strike three swing, and that's number 4, Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah, he has been starting down in the minor leagues, but his pitch count shouldn't be. It's going to be an issue based on how long he's going to be able to pitch, but he'll get into the hundreds if need be. And just a very effortless, seemingly effortless delivery. I mean, long arms to baseball. Doesn't get a lot of sink on it. It seems like a pretty good four-seam fastball. Stands tall out there on the mound.
Hector Gomez, little bloop to right field, and that's a base hit. Station to station baseball as Ramirez holds at third.
Hey, don't run on that arm.
Not on Jay Bruce.
Just stay put. Gomez with his second hit. Going on the attack early, fastball in, and punches it out there into right field, muscles it, got in on him, and Jay Bruce playing shallow and right with Gomez at the plate. No chance for Ramirez to score.
So they're loaded with one out. Matt Garza, the hitter. Garza struck out in the second. Swinging away and down a strike. Garza last year had 3 hits, if you're wondering. Balls, 2 strikes.
A couple of breaking pitches. Garza's saying, not fair. I gave you a fastball.
I'd like one belled high, please.
And preferably not in on me, because I'm not going to be able to get the bat head out.
Here's the 0-2. Get a piece. Garza stays alive. See if Matt can help himself here. Nope. Breaking stuff. Garza strikes out swinging. 2 men out. Bases stay loaded. A big chance for Gene Segura.
Yeah, Segura's due. A couple of hits in the first game of the series. Took an 0 for yesterday, and base hit here looked nice.
Segura with runners in scoring position. A team that has really scuffled there. Segura's been good, 6 of 13. Bullpen activity. That is J.J. Hoover getting loose for the Reds. Chance for the Crew here to extend what is now a 1-run lead.
Yeah, good patience by Segura. Just missing is Lorenzen, and he's got the count in his favor. Now you can be greedy. You know, get one exactly where you want it and drive it in a gap somewhere.
Takes a look at it for strike 1. Ramirez at third, Davis at second, Hector Gomez at first.
Best speed at first base. That's where you want it.
The 2-1. Right back to the box. Inning over. Lorenzen gets out of trouble in the fourth. The Brewers leave him loaded. Through 3.5. It's 2-1 the Crew. Hotel and Casino. Brewers leave him loaded in the top of the fourth. Matt Garza, who has surrendered just the one run, a solo shot from Todd Frazier in the first. To face Brandon Phillips, Marlon Byrd, and Christopher Negron here in the bottom of inning number 4. Phillips last night at his first home run of the year. Reached on an infield hit in the first inning today. Misses. All the runs coming via the home run. Frazier a solo shot. There's a ground ball through the left side and a base hit for Brandon Phillips. Chip Frazier solo homer. Adam Lind and Chris Davis also with solo home runs for the Brewers.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way both of these teams ultimately are going to be scoring a lot of their runs this year. Driving the baseball out of the ballpark.
Marlon Byrd has done a couple of times this year against the Brewers. Went deep yesterday. Took a called third strike to end the first inning. First pitch swing and a fly ball hit back into right field. And Ryan Braun near the track makes the catch. Phillips tagging on his way to second, and he is there.
Pretty aggressive base running there from Brandon Phillips. Once he saw that ball was going to be caught. Well, he went back to first, tagged up. And with Ryan Braun running toward the gap out there away from the infield, Phillips figuring he had a pretty good chance of making it. Pretty close play, though.
Testing Braun, and Phillips able to advance.
Yeah, once he saw the ball was going to be caught, able to get back, tag up, and Ryan Braun made it close. Segura just couldn't hold on to the baseball. So the Reds with a runner in scoring position.
Christopher Negron to the plate. The Reds could be aggressive on the bases. Tagging there. They're second in the National League in stolen bases. The team that leads the league will be the Brewers' next opponent, the Cubs. They were running a lot last night. Joe Madden has his team playing with a lot of confidence. A little different. Different approach now for the Cubbies.
We're putting the pressure on a little bit, not just waiting back. That's Joe Madden's influence.
Says he hates station-to-station baseball.
A lot of different personnel, though. Not the same team as the Cubs were last year.
Well, they've got a lot of those top prospects up with the big club now, specifically Chris Bryant, Addison Russell. Brewers will see all of that firsthand beginning Friday afternoon. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon at Wrigley Field.
Pretty decent starting pitching.
And we'll see Lester, who has struggled a bit, but you're right. Jake Arrieta, Jason Hamill. Arrieta's been really good early on. A ball, 2 strikes to Negron. Soft liner. Segura flips to second. Double play. Phillips runs his team out of the inning. 6-4 on the double play, and the inning comes to an end. We are through 4 here in Cincinnati. Reds had a thread going until this happened. A liner to Segura. Phillips caught in no man's land. Phillips getting hung up on a line drive. Here's a play worth another look. Presented by Columbia St. Mary's.
Yeah, it didn't take much. Look at a strong throw over to Gomez, who got there and doubled him off. So Phillips, after a very good play on the bases to get to second base, took an extra step, and that's all it took for the Brewers to be able to double him off.
Matt Garza is liking it. Here's Logan Schaefer leading off the 5th inning for the Crew.
See how quickly Segura got that ball out of his glove?
He did.
I mean, barely even in the glove for any amount of time, but very quick hands to get the double play.
It's a thing that Segura can do when he dives. If he has to lay out for a ground ball, he can pop up immediately and make the throw. Error prone here at the first month of the season. He can make some very impressive plays, as everybody in baseball knows. Schaefer with a line drive that handled by Billy Hamilton first out of the inning.
Now, sometimes he relies too much on the arm. I think he sometimes gets lazy with the feet and thinks that he's got enough arm to be able to get the out at first. But if you get lazy with the feet and don't take those crow hops and get your feet underneath, that's when the ball sails on you. That's when you make bad throws. Most of his errors this year have been throwing errors.
Here's Ryan Braun. Single to center in the third. The Reds had bullpen activity in the last inning. You see Lorenzen's pitch count north of 90. Quiet pen right now. Lorenzen's been solid. Matt Garza likewise. Gave up a first inning homer. He's got the Reds off the board since.
The Brewers have left 5 stranded so far today. Left the bases loaded in the 4th.
Ryan Braun with a fly ball back into right field, and that is gone. Second home run in as many games for Ryan Braun.
And both of them coming to right field. Wow. Yeah, Braun knew that one was out as soon as he hit it. Hit the baseball, started his turn to first base. So 3 home runs now for the crew. They're starting to rack him up a little bit. That's more like it. Ryan not trying to pull the baseball. Doesn't have to, particularly in this ballpark. Fastball up right down the middle, and you can see as soon as you make contact, that is a big fly to right center.
How sweet it would be if he can heat up. Home run stroke back. On the lineup for a couple of games. Series finale against St. Louis, and then Monday night, although he did come in a pinch hitting role on Monday night. Talking about it, everybody, it's a natural question regarding his thumb, and he says his thumb is fine.
Yeah.
He's trying to develop good habits again. Had some bad habits, which is understandable with the thumb injury that he dealt with last year. Trying to get into a groove, and speaking of which, Adam Lind continues to be in a groove with a base hit here.
Tomahawking that high fastball up and away, and really trying to concentrate on getting on top, and lines it into center field. Well, you wonder how long Brian Price is going to stick with his young right-hander, and here he comes. Check this out. Boy, talk about concentrating on getting on top. You know, Adam Lind, I mean, a lot of times you think about Lind as a low ball hitter, but he's pretty good at getting on top of that pitch, particularly when it's away from him.
A genuine professional hitter. Yes, they're all pros, but Lind, he just seems like he knows what he is doing every time up there.
Well, he's got a plan, and he sticks to the plan. He takes the same swing, very rarely overswings, and knows a particular job he has up there at the plate. That's what you mean when you say professional hitter. Not just go up there with the safe approach every time up. You know, situations dictate, you know, what you have to do up there.
Remember, this is a guy who 6 years ago hit better than 300, drove in 114 runs. Let's take a look at the Powerball home run leaderboard. Adam Lind with his 4th of the year here today, happened in the 2nd inning. Ryan Braun with number 3 here in this inning. Numbers finally starting to change and finally starting to move in the direction the Brewers and their fans want it to be moving. Ramos Ramirez, as that pitch gets through Barnhart, but a nice carom off the backstop, and yet Lind is able to get second.
Yeah. They can't take anything for granted. That ball came careening right back to Barnhart and almost was able to get him. Right through the wickets. That'll be a wild pitch, but Barnhart didn't have very far to go to scoop it up and make a throw to second.
A wild pitch. Here's Aramis Ramirez. 1-1. Brewers with all 3 of their runs via the long ball here today. Chance for Ramirez to pick up Adam Lind. Let's see his pitch count now at 101. Brewers have made him work. We are just in the 5th inning. In the air, right field. Jay Bruce. 2 outs. So Ramirez retired. Now here's Chris Davis.
Yeah, Brian Price trying to get Lorenzen through this inning. He's due up second in the bottom half. But instead of bringing in a reliever and having to take him out for a pinch hitter, trying to get him through it.
Davis has homered and walked. Brewers with 8 hits so far in this game. It's at the plate, presented by Wendy's. You see what Chris Davis has done so far. That home run, his first of the season. Walk rate well ahead of schedule from where Chris was a year ago as well.
Much more patient at the plate, swinging at strikes.
He's walked 8 times so far. 1-1 the count. It's the one walk that Lorenzen has given up so far. He has struck out 5. He has given up 3 home runs in his big league debut. Big swing and a miss. Chance to pick up that runner from second. There is a fly ball, and Davis the same thing. This steered to center. Hamilton will squeeze it. And the Brewers get a run, but miss a chance for another. Inning started well, though. Ryan Braun in this inning, his second home run in as many games. It extends the lead as the Brewers lead the Reds 3-1.
And Casino. The Brewers a 3-1 lead right now over the Reds. The Brewers Community Foundation harnesses the pride, passion, and commitment of our fans, players, and other supporters to positively impact the community. 100% of Brewer players give back to the greater Milwaukee community. Each of our players and their families recognize the importance of joining our fans and making a difference when we all play in the same team. Everyone wins. Well, guys, there's some really good energy down here in this dugout today. It's nice to see the Brewers with the lead, that's for sure. But, you know, even if they win today, they will go the entire month of April without back-to-back wins because this is their last game of the month with the off day coming tomorrow. And Ron Renneke talking about how tough this has been before the game today. He says, quite frankly, it's baffling. He said the energy is good down here. He expects this team to break out of it every day, but it's always the carryover. You need to get that second win. It's those little winning streaks that they're trying to get here. He said communication remains good with this ball club, though, so let's see if today is the spark. Who knows? It's got to happen at some point.
Yeah, just got to grind through it. I mean, that's the battle cry down there in the Brewer dugout. I mean, everybody's thinking about it. I think the more they think about it, the worse things get. So just got to go out there, have fun, be prepared, and just grind through every at bat. Don't think about the ultimate result. You can't come to the ballpark worrying about losing. You have to worry. Come to the ballpark thinking about what you can do to help your team win.
Yeah, a step at a time, as cliche as that is. Tucker Barnhart leads off the inning. Everybody'd love to see a 15-game winning streak, but if you just start winning a series, win another one, go from there. Maybe not even look that far ahead, as you said. Just each at bat, each inning,
pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat. Defensive play, one at a time. So, man, that's what you do when you're winning. You don't think about the ultimate result. You don't think about winning. You just go about your business.
Barnhart deep to right field, and it's a one-run ball game. Home run derby continues. Tucker Barnhart makes it a 3-2 game.
That 5th home run allowed this year by Matt Garza. Both of them solo shots today. Pitch up out over the plate, and Barnhart getting his first start against the Brewers. Able to drive that one out of here.
And Michael Lorenzen will hit for himself. So Brian Price staying with his young starting pitcher here today.
At least a hit.
Yeah. Which he can, as we talked about.
I think his day's done on the mound. I mean, there's been some activity. His pitch count's over 100, but why pinch hit for him? He can swing it.
Singled to right in his first at bat. The first Reds pitcher to get a hit in his first big league plate appearance in 4 years. Jose Arredondo back in 2011. Now you know.
He looks like a hitter up there.
He really does.
Really takes a good swing up there and very patient at the plate.
Two balls, one strike. And Garza knows this guy can hit. It's the way he's working him. A 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging.
Looked like a pitcher on that swing, though.
Yes, he did. Out number one here in the 5th.
Well, that brings us to today's time of the game winner. It's Renee's Red Rooster in Stevens Point. They call the Brewers in the next 24 hours. Renee's Red Rooster gets 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
One out for Billy Hamilton. Hamilton last night was hitless, had his 8-game hitting streak snapped. He's 0 for 2 today. The Brewers have kept him pretty quiet in this series. Shortens up and wants it foul. Hamilton on Monday night had a hit in 5 trips.
Yeah, tried to bunt his way on last night. Ramirez threw him out on a nice play. Three
runs, 8 hits for the Brewers. 2 runs, 5 hits for Cincinnati. A little chopper, and that was just rolling foul.
Almost hit him as Hamilton got out of the batter's box. If it hits him and it's still fair, it's an out. Don't just spin on his baseball. Tries to avoid it. It's fair right there. Had it hit him, he would have been out.
50 footwork to stay clear. A ball, 2 strikes. Throws and misses on a mid-90s delivery.
Guards his pitch count in real good shape.
Pitch number 65 coming up. Full count now to the red speedster. Big pitch coming up here. Popped him up. Segura. 2 men out. Always good to keep him off the bases. Hamilton back to the dugout.
Yeah, because a lot of times when he gets on, whether it's an infield hit or a walk, a lot of times he might get to third base just stealing.
Reds team that has been caught just 1 time. It was Hamilton. 13 of 14 steal attempts. Zach Cozart, the hitter. A couple of ground balls, 1 to Segura and 1 to Ramirez. Ripped, and that is just foul.
Cozart thought it was fair. He's looking in the dugout, but it's not reviewable.
Bob Drake, the third base umpire.
If it's in front of the third base umpire, it's not up for review. And calls it foul.
Oh, 0-2 the count. Cozart's good first month. Average now at 289. Take away his first 4 games, and this is a guy that came into this matchup today hitting .339. On the edge of 300 overall going into the ball game. 0 for 2 so far today. Make it 0 for 3 as he strikes out swinging. So a leadoff homer from Tucker Barnhart, and we have a 1-run game here in Cincinnati. Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by UP and Abraham. 1-800-800-5678. UP and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. 3-2. Brewers lead the Reds, moving to the top of the 6th inning here in Cincinnati. Bucks basketball tomorrow night, game 6 of their series against the Chicago Bulls. Bucks live here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Starts at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The Brewers are off, so you can lock in to Bucks basketball as they are giving the Chicago Bulls all they want in that first-round NBA playoff series.
I think it's safe to wear our Bucks stuff in Chicago. Watching the game on Thursday
might be risky, but you know, let's live on the edge a little bit.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's just taunt. Let's taunt them a little bit.
You and I look like we'd have fun with that, huh?
We might have a good time.
Yeah.
J.J. Hoover now on the mound for the Reds. And Martin Maldonado fouls it back.
J.J. Hoover has given up only 5 runs this year, but 4 of them came in an outing against the Brewers. 4 earned runs in just a third of an inning. Other than that, he's been pretty good.
Michael Lorenzen's debut ends 5-inning outing.
Not a bad outing for a major league debut. 3 runs, 5 innings.
Yeah, gave up 3 homers in this game. A little veteran advice over there, a little veteran support.
Johnny Cueto over there saying,
yes,
maybe you want to do your delivery, maybe turn your back to the hitter once in a while.
that Louis Tion / Johnny Cueto turn.
Maybe a little quick pitch from time to time.
Maldonado works Hoover for a walk. As Hector Gomez comes to the plate. Brewers trying to get something rolling here. A little earlier, we had our carsoup.com trivia question: which pitcher holds the Brewers franchise record for wins in a rookie year? And your answer is, we go back 30 years. How about that? Teddy Higuera.
Isn't that something? He could pitch.
Yes, he could.
He's going to be honored this year. Walk of Fame, right?
Yeah.
For the Brewers.
There's some more rookie numbers through the years.
Yeah, Don August really started his career pretty well, 1988.
Hector Gomez having himself a pretty good day. A couple of singles. Just the starting call at second for the 7th time, and there's hit number 3 today for Gomez, and the Brewers have runners at first and second here in the 6th.
Well, last couple of at bats, he's gotten jammed, 1 to right, now 1 to left. So the Brewers are in position to have Garza go up there and drop down a bunt. Ron Radke seems to like Hector Gomez in that lineup. He's able to muscle one out into right, so he's 3 for 3.
So the Brewers have a threat going, leading by 1. Chance for Garza to move him up a base. And the play will be at first. Hesitation, and that was dug out by Phillips. Runners advance.
There's a nice bunt right there. Nobody at third base. Todd Frazier having to come in, maybe having to field the baseball. So Garza able to get it done. Now it's up to the top of the order. Check it out. That's a nice bunt. Had somebody been at third, they would have had a play there, but they didn't.
Brewers will take it. There's Gene Segura facing J.J. Hoover. Hoover looking to bounce back. It was a very difficult year for him last year. Won his first decision and then dropped 10. Sent down to AAA in late August. And came back up and settled when he returned in September. Those 10 losses, though, tied a club record.
10 in a row, yeah.
It was the 0-1 to Segura. The Brewers had an opportunity in the 4th inning with the bases loaded and 1 out. Garza struck out and Segura hit a comebacker. Crew with him at 2nd and 3rd now.
Yeah, and Cincinnati with the infield in. Just dump one over the infield here. Score a couple.
2-strike pitch. Segura hitting .286. Looking for his first hit today. Hangs in there, a ball, 2 strikes. All the runs via the long ball to this point. Logan Schaefer waits on deck.
Probably take a pretty deep fly ball to score Maldonado from 3rd base.
And Segura down on strikes. That hurts.
Yeah, pitch not even close. Up out of the strike zone, and Segura just waves at it. That's a big out for J.J. Hoover. Now it's going to take a base hit. Yep, not even close to the strike zone.
Looked out the pitcher there. Here's Gene, or make that Logan Schaefer. Logan 0 for 3. Brewers have stranded 6 to this point. Big moment here in this game. We are just in the 6th, but a chance for the Brewers to extend the lead. First to the strike. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, Logan's been using left field pretty well in this series. Driving the baseball in that direction. Base hit here looked good. Hector Gomez probably scoring a single. He's got good speed at 2nd base.
Schaefer looking for his first RBI of this season. Talked a lot about his work in the outfield. Had a couple of games with a couple of hits, specifically Sunday against the Cardinals and Monday against the Reds. Big chance right here to help the team with his bat. First 2 Brewers reached. A Maldonado walk. Gomez single. Garza moved them up. Segura struck out. Hoover 2 years ago had an ERA under 3, appearing in 69 games. Over the Reds 3 years ago in a trade. And Schaefer strikes out swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Brewers miss a big opportunity. They still lead 3-2.
Next week is the Brewers' annual 5-county, 5-day celebration. 5-county residents can save 50% on tickets Monday, May 4th through Friday the 8th as the Brewers take on the Dodgers and the Cubs. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com/5county.
And remember that Monday game will start at 6:20 at Miller Park. Brewers Dodgers 6:20. His first pitch. Brewers starting that homestand. Matt Garza back at it. Brewers have missed a couple of opportunities here. All the runs via the solo homer. They strand runners at second and third in the top half of the sixth.
Yeah, set up nicely, bottom of the order, getting it done, setting the table, but back-to-back strikeouts to end it. Kind of disappointing.
Segura and Schaefer striking out. Now Garza out to protect his one-run lead, beginning with Todd Frazier. This is hit in the air, right field. Ryan Braun make the play. One out. And here's Jay Bruce, and here is the T-Mobile game changer. 27 is enough. Take a look at the most home runs against the Brewers over the last 7, going on 8 years, or 7 years anyway. Jay Bruce with the 27. It's a pretty good list there with him. Joey Votto, by the way, out of the lineup.
And Albert hadn't been around in a while.
True.
He's
Got him
still
out
on
of this
that list, right?
Got him out of this league.
I don't think the Brewers are minding too much not having to deal with Pujols anymore.
No. And they're probably not minding much, at least to this point of the game, not dealing with Votto.
Right. But he is waiting in the wings in that dugout late in the game.
A nice option for Brian Price off the bench. 2 balls, no strikes to Bruce. Walked in the first. A ground ball to second in the third. Chapman, Maldonado, and Garza.
You don't want to make any mistakes to this guy in a 2-0 count. Make sure you're in agreement on what to throw him here and where.
Fly ball to center. Logan Schaefer. 2 outs.
He got away with one there,
yes,
huh?
he did.
It sounded like he took a little bit off. Like one of those BP fastballs, just take enough off of it and had Bruce out in front of it.
Garza retires Frazier and Bruce on fly balls. There's Brandon Phillips. His career numbers against the Brewers good as well. He's had 18 homers. Hitting one last night for his first of the season. Just 2 extra base hits so far this year for Phillips. His career, he has driven in 82 against Milwaukee. He's covering 145 games, 18 homers, and he's driven in 82. A ball, a strike. Smash to center, but right there is Logan Schaefer, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Garza. 2/3 home. It's 3-2 Milwaukee. game. It's good when power hitters show the power. Adam Lind doing so, his 4th of the year. There's Chris Davis, his first long ball of 2015. And then Ryan Braun going deep. That's Michael Lorenzen leading the young pitcher making his major league debut. 3 home runs for the Brewers. And that has given this team this 3-2 lead. Both of the Reds runs coming on homers as well. Ryan Braun will be leading things off here in the top half of the 7th. A new pitcher on the mound for the Reds, the left-hander Tony Cingrani.
Yeah, good numbers for the former starting pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. Brewers have faced him as a starter. 5th appearance, a 169 earned run average. Cingrani last pitched on Sunday against the Cubs and tossed up 6 up, 6 down baseball. So he's been on a roll as of late.
Shoulder injury had to deal with last year. Appeared in 13 games, 11 of which were as a starter. Brian Price wants him in the bullpen right now, and that's where he is.
Now only 2 lefties in that bullpen, with Manny Parr going on the disabled list. 2 left-handers and 5 right-handers in Brian Price's pen.
Yep, Cingrani and Aroldis Chapman. He's already worked the first 2 games of this series, talking about Chapman. Cingrani just 25 years old. Third-round pick in the draft 4 years ago.
There's a lot of fastballs, and he gets away with some high fastballs. Kind of a 3/4 delivery, throws across his body a little bit, and can be sneaky fast.
He put up good numbers 2 years ago. He was 7-4, 18 starts, a 2.92 ERA. 2-2 to Ryan Braun. Bounce to third. That's Todd Frazier. 1 away. This game tight. Brewers have missed a couple opportunities to create a little distance between themselves and the Reds, but Brewers have stranded 8 through the first 6 innings. Left them loaded in the 4th inning. Left runners at 2nd and 3rd in the 6th.
Yeah, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out at the top of the order up.
Back-to-back strikeouts. Segura and Logan Schaefer. Adam Lind with 2 hits today, a homer and a single to center. Now hitting .342. Ball to Christopher Negron over there at first. Quickly 2 men out.
Hey, follow the Brewers from the palm of your hand with MLB.com at bat, the official app of the Milwaukee Brewers. Keep up with the crew all season long with live look-ins, replays, scoring updates, insider content, and more. Download the app today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
Technology you're talking about earlier.
I use it up here.
Oh,
on the iPad. I use the game day portion of that MLB app and track pitches.
It's like a lifeline.
Yeah, velocities, locations, what the pitch is. They do a heck of a job with it.
Yeah, you name it, you can find it. MLB at bat. Advanced media,
yeah.
Major League Baseball have set a standard from my vantage point. It's been able to do.
No secrets anymore.
You're right about that.
Right? I mean, everybody knows everything.
Everything about every player.
I'm glad I'm not playing anymore.
More data than you could possibly imagine.
Right.
3 balls and a strike to Aramis Ramirez. And Aramis draws a walk. Two-out base runner here for the Crew. Chris Davis has gone deep once. Have a pinch runner over at first as Luis Jimenez will come in. So the day is done for Ramirez.
I guess trying to get a little speed in on the bases. Get Jimenez at first base.
Two men out. Davis the hitter. That was fairly close.
Well, you don't want to come in to pinch run and get picked off.
That would probably not go over very well. You're right.
I got Jimenez at first. You put him in, maybe a little bit more range than Ramirez over at third base. And a defensive move.
Ronnie works to Davis and a snap throw down to first. But is easily getting back. Tucker Barnhart behind the plate today. Brian Pena gets the day off. Devin Mesoraco continues to deal with the hip injury. Can't catch the pinch hit. But
they refuse to put him on the DL and get it fixed. They can't quite figure it out. But no, that's the Reds' decision.
The 1-0 out in front. Tony Cingrani, third pitcher here today for the Reds. Michael Lorenzen, his big league debut, 5 innings, gave up 3 runs. J.J. Hoover worked the frame. Two balls, 1 strike. Close eye on Luis Jimenez.
That's pretty close to a balk right there. You got to step toward first base. Cingrani right on the edge in the gray area. That high fastball we're talking about. I mean, 92 miles an hour gets away with a lot of those.
Jimenez off the bag at first. And the 2-2. Struck him out swinging. Look at 9 left on base here for the Brewers. 7th inning stretch in Cincinnati with the Crew hanging on to a 1-run lead.
But surely getting a little bit healthier today. Scooter Gennett had those stitches out of his hand and was able to take some swings during batting practice this morning. That's a good sign. He'll go back to Chicago with the team and then head up to Appleton to play with the Timber Rattlers Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as part of a rehab assignment, and hope to be off with the team, the big league team, then on Tuesday. And Carlos Gomez also running the bases today, running at nearly full speed, doing some sliding as well. He said he feels great. This guy is quickly healed for that hamstring, and I would expect him to be back on Friday, if not on Saturday at the latest. So he's eligible to come off on the off day on Thursday. So that'd be a really good sign, getting Gomez back for the weekend and then Gennett for the homestand.
Very smart putting Gomez on a DL when they did. I mean, if they run him out there a couple days, he could have ripped that thing and he could have been done for a couple of months.
Good to get him back. Marlon Byrd leading off the bottom of the 7th inning. Luis Jimenez came on as a pinch runner in the top half of the 7th. Now he is in for Ramirez at 3rd. Byrd has struck out today and also hit a fly ball to right. Reds with just 5 hits off of Matt Garza. 2 of them home runs. Todd Frazier in the 1st and Tucker Barnhart in the 5th. The 1-2. All about home runs here today. The Reds 2nd in the National League in home runs. The Brewers have started to play long ball here. Last few games, Byrd a swing and a miss or foul tip. It's strike 3, and that's how the 7th begins for Garza.
Another good start for Matt Garza. Back-to-back pretty good starts for Matt. Had a good breaking pitch, a curveball, and a slider today, and able to elevate the fastball. Actually looked like a cutter. That Marlon Byrd swings right through. Maybe a hanging slider, not sure what it was.
Out number 1, Christopher Negron trying to bunt his way aboard. Line into that double play. That was Brandon Phillips. It was a liner to short. Right in front of Phillips, and he got hung up. They were able to turn that into a 6-4 double play. Grown in there for Joey Votto this afternoon. It's the 1-1. Other games going on. That game in Baltimore played in an empty ballpark, empty Camden Yards. It's 6-0 Orioles. They are through 2. Rays lead the Yankees 2-1. Tigers and Twins tied at 3 in the bottom of the 5th. The Yankees game also through 5. Tonight the Cubs will conclude their series with the Pirates, and the Cardinals square off with the Phillies. Martinez and Harang, the matchup there. Hendricks and Cole at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, we're going to be in Chicago early. Maybe we should head over to Wrigley.
Sure. Check it out.
What do you
think? A scouting report.
What do you want to hit Rush Street? What do you prefer?
Why not both? We're off tomorrow. Game's at 7 Central.
Yeah.
Nothing happens on Rush till about 11, right?
Too late for me.
Got that right. Oh, back in the day, but that was a lot of days ago. 3-2 to Christopher Negron. There's a roller to Segura. Out of hurry, and he gets it there in time. 2 men out.
Hey, battling for the 2015 MLB All-Star Game in Cincinnati is now underway. And for the first time ever, voting is exclusively available online to help select the starting lineups for the 86th annual Midsummer Classic. Cast your ballot today at brewers.com/vote.
Site to the All-Star game this July, Great American Ballpark. Tucker Barnhart homered into the right field bleachers his last trip.
So there's no paper ballots anymore? No hanging chads or anything?
Remember, you go to your seat and then they'll either be right there waiting for you, or they pass them out and you punch those holes.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Bummer.
I think they still should, just for us old school folks. Still the best of the All-Star games in all of sports.
Well, the voting process is getting a little bit more green, right? You don't want to waste all that paper.
It's very true. Vote early, vote often. Richard Barnhart homered in the 5th inning today. His first big league homer came against the Brewers last May 1st. Off of Marco Estrada. Garza turning in another good performance today. He's ahead of ball, 2 strikes to Tucker Barnhart. Matt's last outing, it was a quality start. A day where the Brewers were shut out. 3-0 finish against the Cardinals. Matt went 6 innings, 7 hits, gave up 3 runs. He's given up just 2 runs on 5 hits through 6 2/3. Here's the 2-2. Just with a curve, and the count runs full.
Yeah, good outing his last time out on Friday, but took the loss.
Carlos Martinez was just a little bit better. Cardinals starter worked 7 innings. Here's the payoff. Do it again. There's Joey Votto. Waiting on deck is Maldonado. We'll have another chat with his pitcher.
Barnhart gets on, then Votto represents the go-ahead run. Not sure who you pinch hit for at the top of the order to get Votto in the game later on, until you get back down toward the bottom. So Ryan Price elected to get him up there now if Barnhart gets on base.
See if Garza can prevent that from happening. Again, the 3-2, and that's ball 4.
Just walk Votto to the plate, representing the go-ahead run.
Some potential trouble here for the Crew, and we'll get Ron Renicky out of the dugout. And a pitching change coming up here in Cincinnati. A tight one going on. Brewers trying to hang on and get 1 out of 3 in this series with Cincinnati. Good outing for Garza, but he's going to have to turn it over to the bullpen. 6 2/3 of good work from Matt. We continue from Cincinnati with the Brewers leading 3-2. outing, 6 2/3. Now turns it over to the bullpen, right?
Yeah, minimizing the walks, only 2 walks. He did leave the game after walking Barnhart, but once again, just like his start against the Cardinals, he had a good breaking pitch, was able to throw strikes. Only gave up the 2 solo home runs, but in line for the victory if Will Smith's able to get him out of this with Joey Votto with the plate. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts for Matt Garza as Will Smith continues here. His 10th appearance, a .257 earned run average, pitched on Monday here in Cincinnati against the Reds.
The lefty versus lefty. Votto homered last night and snapped an 0 for 15 skid he had been in. Still having a very good month of April, hitting .316. 7 home runs, tied with Adrian Gonzalez of the Dodgers. It's a 1-strike pitch.
He has a good slider.
Yes, sir.
Started him off with a fastball, then the big bender catching the outside corner.
Smith trying to make quick work of Joey Votto. Just does get a piece, fouled it back.
Votto very good, especially against left-handed pitching, of using left field, particularly left center. Brewers outfield very deep, trying to cut off those gaps to keep Barnhart from scoring on an extra base hit.
Votto has homered 3 times against the Brewers already this season. Will Smith wants to have none of it, and that's exactly how it plays out. He has none of it. It's Votto swinging. Great work by the Brewers left-hander. Comes in relief of Matt Garza and finishes off the 7th inning. Brewers 3, Reds 2. Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. 3-2, Reds lead the Brewers lead the Reds here through 7 innings. Will Smith striking out Joey Votto to preserve this 1-run lead for the Crew. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Milwaukee Brewers, LLC. 3-2 the Crew, and Brian Price ready to turn to his bullpen again. The Brewers Brewers able to protect this lead. Now Jumbo Diaz on the mound for Cincinnati.
Yeah, 491 the earned run average. The big hard thrower Jumbo Diaz in game number 9. Last pitched on Friday against the Cubs. A scoreless inning.
Big man with more than a decade in the minor leagues. His big league debut last season. Back on June 20th against the Toronto Blue Jays.
Got to get some insurance runs here.
There have been missed opportunities here for Milwaukee. 3 runs on the solo homers, but they're stranded 9 through the first 7 innings. Let's see what Martin Maldonado can do. Bottom of the order has set the table a couple of times here today. But Brewers have been unable to get the key hit to extend the advantage. Left him loaded in the 4th. Stranded him on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out in the 6th. One of the most notable misses so far. Good work by Matt Garza. Will Smith striking out Joey Votto to end the 7th inning. Maldonado shoots one in the right field, and there's a good start here in the 8th for Milwaukee.
I'll tell you, that was a good job by Will Smith. 4 pitches to get Joey Votto. And that's a big out. Now Votto's done for the day. And Matt Garza through 7, pitcher a record. You can't throw a slider any better than where Will Smith threw 2 of them to Votto in that at bat.
Yeah, that is nasty. No matter how good of a hitter you are. Hector Gomez. 3 hits in as many at bats. 2 singles to left, and in the middle a single to right in the 4th.
Yeah, 7-8 hitters for the Brewers, on base 5 times today.
Ten hits total for Milwaukee. Doubled the Reds up in that department. Gomez lays one down. Diaz on to 2nd, and a short hop, and Cozart cannot make the play. Looked like Diaz might have slipped a little bit as he was getting ready to throw, and the Brewers have him at 1st and 2nd.
Well, now take advantage of it. Let's see if Gerardo Parra is going to come up and hit in the pitcher's spot. He did. He slipped. He tried to plant, and when he did that, lost his footing and threw it away. Cozart able to keep it in front of him. There's a break. Let's take advantage of it now. Well, the arm drops. Cozart not able to handle it, but keeps it in front. Maldonado has to stay at 2nd.
So a huge chance now for the Brewers. Gerardo Parra pinch hitting. Squares around, another bunt. It gets by Diaz, and everybody's going to be safe. Bases loaded.
Not sure he didn't try and do that, actually.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, with the everybody moving around in the infield, Diaz, a big man to say the least, not real nimble out there. Check it out. He bunts it right in that direction, and I think that's what he was trying to do. Well, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say he did that on purpose and got a base hit.
I'm right there with you. It's Jumbo Diaz right there. Now the 70, and the story's been told, I know quite a bit, but for those who haven't heard it, it represents the weight loss that he had a couple of years ago. So he's still a big man. But I will say Logan Schaefer with that banana route he had a couple of nights ago looked a little more impressive than that from Jumbo Diaz. Bases loaded for Gene Segura.
No, in Diaz's defense, I mean, you see a guy scoring around, your job is to charge hard toward the plate. And by the time he realized that ball was bunted too hard in the opposite direction, he had nowhere to go.
Oh, yeah. And make no mistake, Diaz has been good in this role here for the Reds. Coming out of the bullpen, but the Brewers trying to get to him here. Bases loaded and nobody out. Segura's been up a couple of times with runners in scoring position, and here he is again, a 2-0 count.
And it's time to put up a big crooked number for this Brewers offense right now. You're in the spot in the batting order that you want to be, with the bases loaded and nobody out. You got a 3-0 count to Segura.
There's Logan Schaefer on deck.
Cincinnati with the infield in. Nobody out, somewhat unusual. They figure they don't want to give up too many more runs, or at least even one run.
Count runs full. Diaz bringing it at 95.
And that was one that Segura would like to have back, right down the middle.
Jumbo Diaz, the fourth pitcher today for Cincinnati, and here comes the 3-2. On that fastball. Diaz originally signed with the Dodgers back in 2001. A lot of years in the minor leagues before getting his chance in the show. Here's the 3-2. Again fouled away.
Man, Diaz falling behind 3-0. He just keeps pouring in his strikes, and Segura keeps fouling him off.
One more time, the payoff. The eighth pitch of the at-bat. Major opportunity here for Milwaukee. See if the top of the order can come through. Fly ball to right. Jay Bruce has a good arm, and Maldonado has no choice but to hold as Bruce snaps one to Barnhart. Bases stay loaded, one out.
Well, somebody else, maybe they might test it, but not with Maldi at third base. Segura able to make contact but not get it deep enough to score Maldonado from third base. Well, now you figure the Reds are going to play the infield at double play depth, and the ground ball gets him out of the inning.
If it is a ground ball, you hope there's a little chop because Schaefer runs well. See if he can take the drama out of it by just getting a clean single. A strike.
That'd be a bad idea to squeeze here.
Ron Renicky likes to do that.
And Schaefer, a pretty good guy to do it.
He's down a strike. Swinging away. Diaz bringing it high 90s. Maldonado started the inning with a single to right. Gomez and Parra able to bunt their way on. Segura, a fly ball to right. 0-2 to Logan Schaefer. Not messing around.
Man, he's been off fastballs since he fell behind Segura. Trying to throw him by the Brewer hitters.
Here's the 1-2. And that got him. Yes, sir.
That's a way to
Flip
score.
Any way you can. And the Brewers lead 4-2.
There you go. Take him any way you can get him at this point. On a 1-2 pitch. Diaz hits him right in the foot. Slider right off the end of the right toe.
Huge run and still just one out. That is our Badger Mutual Insurance run of the game. Gives the Brewers a 4-2 lead here in the 8th inning. And Ryan Braun at the plate. A couple of hits today for Ryan, including a solo homer in the 5th. Chance to break this open here for Milwaukee.
And base hit scores too. Really good speed on the bases.
Gomez over at third, Parr at second, Logan Schaefer at first. The first run of the game for a home run had nothing to do with it. 5 solo homers and a hit batsman with the bases loaded. Here comes the 1-1 to Ryan Braun. Taking something off, 1-2.
And a slider. I mean, good compliment to a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Braun versus Diaz, a ball, 2 strikes. A 4-2 ball game. The Brewers with a chance to add to that against the big right-hander for Cincinnati. A fly ball hit back into center field. Hamilton looking up, gone! Grand slam, Ryan Braun, and the Brewers busted open.
Well, how bad did the Brew Crew need that right there? Jumbo Diaz trying to come inside on Braun with a fastball, and Ryan able to get the big part of the bat on it, ride it on out of here, and now an 8-2 lead for the Crew. Well, Ryan Braun's starting to heat up. A couple of homers, 3 hits today. A home run in yesterday's game. Look out, here he comes. Well, after a couple of sliders, Diaz trying to come inside. It looked like to me Braun was looking for it and got the bat head out and knocked it out of here. Boy, oh boy, did they need that.
So that swing the Brewers have been waiting for, and Braun with his 2nd home run today, a solo shot in the 5th and a slam here in the 8th. Just like that, it's 8-2 Milwaukee. It's Adam Lind.
Boy, the hit by pitch by Logan Schaefer on a 1-2 count. Like, talking about changing the complexion of a game, right?
Absolutely. Looked like Diaz was on the brink of maybe getting his team out of trouble. The bases loaded. Got Segura to hit a fly ball to right. Runners had the hold, and like I said, a 1-2 count on Schaefer. 4th career grand slam for Ryan Braun. And that shot measured at 418 feet.
She's a carrying here at the ballpark today. 4 home runs for the Brewers, 2 for the Reds. Typical day at Great American Ballpark.
That's right.
Especially during the day. Really carries well.
Just wait till they have home run derby here. All-Star festivities.
Yeah, that's right, huh?
Lynn strikes out swinging. 2nd out of the inning. Well, Ryan Braun has been pretty open about shouldering the responsibility, or a whole bunch of it, with this team in the very tough month of April. If these last 2 games are any indication, the right fielder is ready to make a lot of noise.
Yeah, right fielder and third baseman starting to get it going at the plate.
Here's Luis Jimenez. Came in as a pinch runner. in the 7th inning, replacing Ramos. One and one the count. A 5-run inning here for the Brewers. Trying to take the final game of this series here against the Reds in Cincinnati before moving on to Chicago to start a weekend series on Friday afternoon. Diaz ready with a 1-2. Well, the way this game, there's still game left, but Brewers had left 9 on base. Missed some opportunities earlier to create some space, but here in the 8th, they cash in. Inning over, but a very good inning for the Milwaukee Brewers. With a run and a hit batsman with the bases loaded. And then Ryan Braun, his 4th career grand slam, his 2nd home run of the day. And it's 8-2. Brewers lead the Reds. Yeah, Jeff, Braun had a couple of dramatic home runs in that series April of last year off of then Pirates closer Jason Grilli. It's a big one here today. Gerardo Parra, by the way, stays in the game. He's out in left field. And Jonathan Broxton, the former Red, is on the mound.
Well, Broxton was getting ready to come into a 1-run game, so he has to take that same mentality and try to get the Reds out in order. He's got the top of the order to deal with now with a 6-run cushion. Broxton with that big earned run average in appearance number 9 gave up a run in an inning of work on Sunday against the Cardinals.
Into the Brewers in that late August trade. He's ahead of Billy Hamilton, a ball, 2 strikes. Top of the order for the Reds, Hamilton, Cozart, and Frazier.
Boy, how big was that out, that Joey Votto strikeout? Will Smith coming in, threw him 4 pitches, all strikes, and punched him out.
A walk given up, and the last batter the Guards have faced gave up a walk to Tucker Barnhart. You had Votto, and Brewer fans well aware of the history there and what Votto is capable of doing. And Will Smith That slider just taking care of business. There's a ground ball past Broxton. Diving stop by Gomez, but that's all he'll be able to do. Infield single for Billy Hamilton.
I hope he's all right. I mean, it rolled over on his wrist.
Yeah,
he's got his glove off, and those are the ones that he can sprain that wrist. You can see him working it. And watch the way he rolls over here on the glove. Right there. I mean,
awkward.
Looks like he's going to be okay, but no chance of getting out with Billy Hamilton getting down the line.
It's hit number 6 for the Reds today. And the first for Hamilton. Brings Zach Cozart to the plate. Cozart looking for his first hit.
And just because it's a 6-run deficit, don't think Billy Hamilton's not going to steal a base.
Yeah, with him, anytime, anywhere.
Right. I mean, because it's very tough to throw him out, particularly with Broxton out there. Takes a while to get rid of it.
Runner holds. Cozart lifts one to right field. Routine for Ryan Braun. First out of the inning. Take a look back at that slam that Braun hit in the 7th.
Yeah, fastball middle in. They didn't get it in far enough, and Braun able to knock it way back out there in left center. 5 RBIs for Ryan Braun today.
That's at 7th. Obviously, that was the 8th inning. And you saw where he hit it, and now you have to go try to fetch it. It's the Reds bullpen. Broom out trying to retrieve that home run ball hit by Braun. That was a launch. Here's Todd Frazier. Broken bat. Ground ball. Hector Gomez. There's one. There's two. Inning over. 4-3 on the double play. Frazier bust his bat. Inning over. Brewers lead 8-2. Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. 8-2, the Crew leading Cincinnati here as we move to the 9th inning at Great American Ballpark. Hey, during the month of April, Fox Sports Wisconsin wants you to share your excitement and passion for Wisconsin sports using the hashtag #AprilMadeMeDoIt. Send us a photo of your family decked out in team gear or your face painted in team colors. You get the idea. As long as it shows your enthusiasm for your hometown team. And follow at FS Wisconsin on Twitter to find out how you could win an April Made Me Do It prize pack. Leon Herrera bat in hand, ready to get the 9th inning started here for the Brewers. And on the mound for Cincinnati, was called up a couple days ago, Carlos Contreras.
Yeah, came up on Monday from AAA Louisville when Homer Bailey was put on the disabled list. And last season he went from AA to the big leagues for the Reds and appeared in 16 games. Last pitched on Sunday in the minor leagues.
Ron Renicky over there getting things squared away with the home plate umpire, Tim Timmons. And we are ready to roll. So a 5-run eighth. Breaking this open, a Ryan Braun grand slam. Big blow. Elian Herrera will lead off the ninth for the Crew. Appearing in his 9th game. First pitch swing and a fly ball hit back into center field on the run. Hamilton up against the wall and he makes the catch. Pretty play.
Yeah, he covers a lot of ground. He plays shallow, particularly with Herrera up there, and he just outruns a baseball. They're still learning how to play the outfield. Takes a good route to the baseball and just sheer speed able to run that one down. No banana route there.
No, straight line.
Didn't have time.
Straight line sprint. Here's Maldonado. He started that big 8th inning with a single to right. Carlos Contreras on the mound for Cincinnati. After the Brewers roughed up Jumbo Diaz in the 8th. Contreras originally signed as a free agent with the Reds back in 2008. Appeared in 17 games last season. Maldonado pops it up. Zach Cozart will handle it. Quickly 2 away. Contreras, 24 years old. He'll face Hector Gomez. The Reds have yet to get him out.
Yeah, he's been on base all 4 times. Sacrifice bunt his last time up.
Take a look at what Hector has done on this Wednesday afternoon.
A couple of base hits to left and one to right today. A little fish job into right field, and then his next time up, they got in on him and dumped it over the head of Frazier and into left field, and then dropped down a sacrifice bunt in that big 8th inning for the Brewers.
1-0 the count. Brewers breaking through. 4 home runs today, 3 solo, and Braun's grand slam. Braun also with a solo homer. Adam Lind, Chris Davis also have gone deep.
The Brewers now with 15 homers on the year. They're starting to get back to where they should be.
Well, it took a while for this team to get into double digits in that category, but starting to come in bunches here. Gomez strikes out swinging. And the Brewers retired in order. That's the bad news. The good news is they're up by 6. What's on tap? Presented by Miller Lite. Off day tomorrow, and then Friday, Willie Peralta on the mound at Wrigley Field against John Lester. These are all day games. We have Mike Fiers and Jake Arrieta. And then Jimmy Nelson on Sunday goes against Jason Hamill. Our coverage on Friday from Wrigley Field. Brewers live at 12:30 right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Yeah, look at Lester, a 6 earned run average. Arrieta off to a great start. Hamill's always tough on the Brewers.
Well, Jeremy Jeffress now will get the call to try to finish things off and send the Brewers out of here on a good note.
You see the numbers for Jeremy, pretty good numbers, an earned run average under 3 in game number 12, so he's had a lot of activity so far this year. Jeffress last pitched against the Cardinals on Sunday, a scoreless 7th inning, gave up a base hit.
4, 5, and 6 in the order for Cincinnati. Jay Bruce takes a strike. Bruce walked in the first. Ground ball to second in the third, and a fly ball to center in the 6th. Good work by Matt Garza today, going 6 2/3.
Yeah, there's your momentum right there. I mean, you can talk all you want about where you get your momentum. It comes from your starting pitcher. And Garza was good today.
As you mentioned, the key moment here beyond the obvious of Braun's slam, but what Will Smith did with a runner on, 2 men out in the 7th, to be able to take care of business against Joey Votto. It's a moment that you turn things around a little bit.
Yeah, not only, not just a home run. I mean, if he gets on base, then you have the top of the order to deal with.
Bruce with a fly ball to center field. Logan Schaefer going back. He's up against the wall, and it is gone. Jay Bruce, his 5th of the year, and it's an 8-3 game.
It's carrying today, isn't it? Oh boy,
it's flying.
7 home runs today. Jeffress out over the plate. I guess note to self: don't throw fastballs out over the plate to Jay Bruce, as he hammers him.
He will make you pay. Brandon Phillips is 2 for 3 this afternoon. Curve missing from Jeffress. Home runs have accounted for all but 1 run today. The exception was a bases loaded situation where Logan Schaefer took one on the foot.
Yeah. Take one for the team. Take that any day on a 1-2 pitch.
Phillips a little tapper. A roll foul. Jimenez over there for the Brewers.
1-2 count, bases loaded, you get hit any day.
Would set up the grand slam from Ryan Braun. The hit batsman was big. That made it a 4-2 game. It gave the Brewers a little bit of room, and then Ryan gave them a lot more room with the slam.
And Braun had 2 strikes on him.
All those runs in the 8th against Jumbo Diaz. 5 runs on 3 hits in that inning for Milwaukee. A ball, 2 strikes to Phillips. Phillips will be followed by Marlon Byrd and Christopher Negron. Here comes the 2-2. Full count to the Reds' second baseman. Phillips shoots one to right. And there's out number one. For the Brewers, you don't want to mess around here.
No.
Back to Monday, the Brewers went into the ninth inning down 7. They pulled to within 3 of the tying run at the plate.
It's never feel real comfortable in this ballpark with any kind of lead, really.
Especially today, the way the ball's flying out of here, as it tends to do. Get a nice, I would say it's a hot day, but it's a nice, comfortable late April day here in Cincinnati. Marlon Byrd. Byrd 0 for 3. His average down to 164.
At some point, he's going to heat up. I just hope you're not around for it.
With 25 homers a year ago with the Phillies. Swung on and missed. Nothing in 2 to the Reds' left fielder. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Missed inside. Here the Brewers head to Chicago while the Reds move on to Atlanta.
Yep, a race to the airport today.
Here's the 1-2. Fastball missed. Jeffress getting a fair amount of work in here in this ninth inning. Jay Bruce a solo homer. Brandon Phillips a fly ball to right. A full count now to Marlon Byrd. The 3-2. Got him swinging. 2 men out here in the ninth.
They got him on the inside corner at 98 miles an hour. There you go.
Messing around with the breaking stuff, just rear back and let it fly.
Yeah, got a big lead. Just let him hit it. And with his stuff, a lot of times they do come up empty.
So now Jeffress will try to take care of Christopher Negron and get out of here with a win. Bringing the fastballs now. Now evens a ball and a strike. All of the Reds' runs coming on solo homers. Todd Frazier, Tucker Barnhart, and Jay Bruce. Bouncing ball to second. This ought to do it. Gomez on to Lind, and the Brewers take game 3 of this series. Jeffress finishes the job. Ryan Braun, a big day for the Crew, driving in 5, a solo homer. And then in the 8th inning, a grand slam to break it open. Good work from the pitching staff led by Matt Garza. And help from the bullpen as the Brewers get win number 5 on the season. Take the 3rd and final game of this series here in Cincinnati. It's on to Chicago. Brewers will take on the Cubs beginning Friday afternoon. Brewers win it 8-3. Let's send it to Jeff Grayson standing by in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studio.